आमच्या भविष्या खातीर ते बलिदान दितात. आम्ही मजेत घरात असतात ते त्रासांची येतात. सीमेर उबे राहून देगीत तुमकां फक्त देशाचीच काळजी. तुमका आमचा मानाचा मुजरा सलाम फौजी, सलाम फौजी. तुमका आमचा मानाचा मुजरा सलाम फौजी, सलाम फौजी.
जय हिंद व्ह्युअर्स अँड वेलकम टू माय शो सलाम फौजी. तुमकां खबरच आसा की आमी हो शो बेजिकली टू मोटिवेट द यंग बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स टू जॉइन द आर्म फोर्सीस आणि टू क्रिएट एन अवेरनेस अबाउट द आर्म फोर्सीस. आणि आमी वेगवेगळे अधिकारी तुमचे मुखार हाडटात, वेगवेगळे अदर रँक्सूय तुमच्या मुखार हाडटात आणि तुमकां तांचे कडल्यान म्हायती करून दितात. आज आमचे कडेन असोच एक मनीस आयिल्लो आसा. मनीस म्हणटा कितें तुमकां मागीर कळटलें. ही इज अ हायली एकॉम्प्लिश्ड सॉलिसिटर इन गोवा with a wealth of experience in the legal profession. He has firmly cemented his position as one of the top solicitors in the area. His excellent legal skills and in-depth knowledge of the Indian legal system have been proven time and again. Welcome, Senior Advocate Surendra Desai, sir.
Thank you. I'm really happy to meet another Fauji after a long time. I left the Indian Air Force sometime in 74 and now it is 2025.
विवादांक अजाप दिसतले की what Senior Advocate Surendra Desai is doing here in SALAAM FAUJI. पण खूप जाणां खबर ना की he was in the Air Force. He has served in the Air Force for some time in the other ranks of the Air Force, and he has distinguished himself. He is a war veteran also. आणि त्या खातीर आमी ताका हांगा तांचे बद्दल तांचे अनुभव तुमकां सांगपाक हांगा आपयल्ले आसा. आनी एअर फोर्साचो मोटो टच द स्काय विथ ग्लोरी. मोटो इज टच द स्काय विथ ग्लोरी. एंड इन रियल लायफ आय थिंक सिनियर एडवोकेट सुरेंद्रजी देसाई has touched the sky with glory in his real life, and he has been doing very well as a senior lawyer in the state.
I am also very happy to be with another Fauji after a very long time. It's out of love and affection.
बरें, तर म्हाका सांगात, how did it all happen? How did you join the Air Force?
See, I was born in a village in Goa, then Portuguese Goa, on 26th of January 1945 at 9:30 p.m. if I remember well. It was a village, and in village the literacy rate was very low, at least at that point of time, because everyone was in the community was like a landlord, and they were happy. They had cooks and then other people at their service. So nobody would like to study, but then in a village there is a growth which is very nice, which doesn't bother about caste, creed, sex or anything. All of us, all children get together, they play together, they discuss things together, and in the evening they respectively go to their homes. So that sort of culture fortunately I got in the beginning years of my career as a boy from a village or a village boy. Then it so happened during Portuguese time. So what happened was my father was a regidor. Regidor is a man like a government officer manning the village on behalf of the Portuguese government. He was the chief in the village. I don't know what powers he was wielding then. But I saw him going from house to house. And our village spread about 12 wards. And it was a big village, Dargalim. So I also started going with him as a child. And I saw him discussing, trying to find out the problems, trying to solve the problems. And going to each and every one and trying to find out the problems and solve the problems. So that was the initial pickup that I started believing that man is born to be a man, is born to be a human being, and there is no question of politics between two human beings. Serve the purpose, do the best what you can, allow the other to do the best what he can, but he will not interfere with you, you will not interfere with him. Everybody has a right to shape his own career the way he or she wanted. That's how we started.
ना पण आता एअरफोर्सान कशें तुमी जॉईन जाले?
See, I was born in a family which is, I would say, which is obedient family and which always respected elders. I started believing my parents, started obeying their orders without any reason to find out whether what they are saying is good or bad. I had an elder brother who started after after liberation of Goa in 1961. He started in a private company. And then he was living in Panjim. Before that, he was doing some service in Savorde or somewhere. So I was from the village, the youngest boy. At the age of 16, unfortunately, I failed in March 1961 because after 2 papers, I got chicken pox in Bombay. I passed out in 61 October at the age of 16, and then the liberation took place in December 61. So my brother said, without asking me, without trying to find out what I wanted to do, he said, "Mister, you become a science, you complete your BSc because science is being recognized better than arts." So I joined science. I joined Chowgule's college at Margaon, and it was the first year of that college. The college was not that equipped to be a science college, and everything was helter-skelter. And I would say this, and as a result of which, I did not get proper guidance as a science student, and I failed. Then the next year was 63, 64. This was 62, 63. My brother said, then he was shifted to Panjim. My brother said, "Mister, you come down, you become an engineer." So I followed meekly, and he saw that I was admitted in some diploma college in Panjim. Polytechnic. And I was given some mechanical engineering or something stream. At that point of time, in 1963, October, he happened to meet a recruiting officer who had come to recruit other ranks in the Indian Air Force. And I don't know how he met my elder brother, and then there was a cousin of mine who was a police officer. So he must have met them, or they must have met him. And he expressed to the recruiting officer, "I want my brother to become a pilot, what he should do." So recruiting officer naturally said, "See, he has got the educational qualifications for competing as a pilot. But I am a recruiting officer, I have come to recruit other ranks. So I will like to recruit him and give him a better trade as a ground engineer, and he will be better equipped being in the Air Force to become a pilot." So my brother said, "Mister, now you join the Air Force and become a pilot." Elder brother's orders, command. So I joined the Indian Air Force, if I remember well, on 30th of October 1963, and completed my training in Bangalore, and I was posted to Patiala in Punjab, where there was a small airport, and it was essentially a flying meant for flying private aircraft, something of the sort. But then I was connected with the wireless, and there were many stations, air stations around in Punjab. And Punjab,
Where did you do your basic training?
in Bangalore, first training in Bangalore. Even second training, I happened to be in Bangalore.
How was it?
It was good. It was good, and that gave me confidence. And we used to train ourselves very hard, enjoy also very hard, because all were together after our drills and all. And that gave me some sort of an impetus, some sort of an energy to understand what a human being is and what a human being should be. And not to discriminate or not to be caste oriented, forget caste, creed, sex, and believe in everything which is honest, truthful, and sincere.
And where were you posted? Where did you do all your posting during your tenure?
First training was in Bangalore. Then I was posted to Patiala in Punjab. And after my posting, sometime in 64 end, the war, Indo-Pak war, broke out in 1965. And then during that time, I was in Patiala. Then after the war was over, that was not a long war, although the enmity was too long. Then I tried to become a pilot and found that it was difficult for me. The basic reason being, I had already joined Air Force in other ranks and as a ground engineer. Then I said, now I must take my own decisions. The first decision I took on my own was to go out of the Indian Air Force and do something. Therefore, while I was posted in Patiala, I decided to improve my education, because I found with the education I had acquired, there was no use going out after 9 years. I won't be able to do anything much, get a better job. So then I did my BA from Punjab University.
While still in the service?
While in service. And fortunately for me, as I understood things then, frontier areas in India were subjected to wars or were subjected to enemy problems, because we had Pakistan in the neighborhood, which was one of the worst enemies India can have. So like that, there were concessions given to armed forces personnel. So I did not have to join a college or show attendance or to forward it through a college to the university. I had to show that I am an armed forces personnel and I had the requisite qualification to appear in a particular exam. Once I showed that, I was directly allowed to appear in the exam. And then, depending upon how I performed, whether to pass or fail, that was a different thing. So I was directly connected with the university by virtue of being an Air Force personnel. That was an advantage in adversity. So like that, I did my BA during my posting in Patiala. And then I went to, from Patiala Patiala I remained, then I was posted to Chandigarh for some time. 71 war I was in Chandigarh. 71 Bangladesh war. And then I was sent for a conversion course, that is an advanced course, to Bangalore again. In the meantime, I had already become a graduate. So my brother said, I wanted to go for MA, but my brother said, you take some professional degree, you become LLB. So without any intention to become a lawyer, merely because my elder brother said, who had affection for me, and he had taken a decision honestly, I joined LLB in Bangalore while being a trainee in the advanced course. So like that I continued for some time and then found that I won't be able to continue in the training center unless I pass. But I had started feeling intentionally to remain in Bangalore so that I can attend my law college as far as possible.
Oh.
So my instructor one day realized that this man is playing foolish.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, Mister, what is this? I am told you are doing LLB and what is this course? You can do it, but you are failing intentionally to remain in Bangalore. I said, yes sir, I am doing it because I am going out of Indian Air Force after 9 years. I have already spent 5-6 years. I am improving my educational qualification and I am forced to come to this course. I have not volunteered for this course. Since I finished my first course and got inducted into the Air Force, this advanced course has been imposed on me. And because I want to remain in Bangalore for my LLB education, I am doing this because I am going out after 9 years. So then after some time I was sent on punishment posting. And as God would help the person who honestly thinks about himself or his career, I was posted to a place known as Bidar, which is also in Mysore. So punishment posting, I can understand you are posted to Jammu and Kashmir or somewhere else, or some hard area.
Mm-hmm.
So luckily, God bless, I was posted in the same state, but at a little distant place. So like that, I completed my LLB. And then after I completed my LLB, I was not allowed to go after 9 years. I was left, the Air Force left me, or I left the Air Force after 10 years. In 74, I think March, April, my release came from the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
That is after 10 years, although I had signed for 9 years compulsorily. And then at that point of time I was posted in Delhi. If I remember well, my last posting was in Delhi, Air Force Station, New Delhi. So I got out from the Air Force and obtained Sanad and started legal profession in 1974. To be precise, if I remember well, 29th of June 1974.
Mm-hmm. But what were your duties as a Air Force personnel?
I was in wireless section. So there is a wireless connection with the aircraft also from ground. There is wireless connection with all other Air Force stations. So I was involved with the information connecting other Air Force stations with the Air Force station where I was, and connecting my Air Force station to the air, to the pilot concern, for some purposes to pass on the necessary information so that things can act perfectly well.
Doctor, how is life in Indian Air Force?
I would say what I am today is because of my life in the Indian Air Force. You may not get or you may not achieve the career you wanted to make as an Air Force carrier, but you are made a human being, you are made a man, and that is important to live a life and to live a successful life by creating a successful life for yourself out of anything, anywhere you are in.
After serving in the Air Force, when you came back in the civil life, did you miss the Air Force life, the disciplined life? Do you miss?
I did not miss the disciplined life, but I was disciplined in the Indian Air Force. You will not believe, when I joined a person who later on became a judge and retired as Chief Justice of Gujarat High Court, one Justice Kamath, I joined him, Das Kamath.
GD Kamath.
GD Kamath. Now those days I was a junior, and then a junior was not supposed to be paid. Now, after being a paid employee of the Indian Air Force, after earning for 10 years, I suddenly stopped earning anything. And it went on for 10 years until he became a judge. Now, suffering this, which courage I have got only from the Air Force. And then he realized that this is the man out of the lot who is worth entrusting something. So when he became a judge, all his briefs, he said, Mr. Desai, you do whatever you want. This is your place now. I mean, you get respect or you get reward out of the honesty you show in whatever circumstances you are placed.
Today you are one of the topmost lawyers, Dr. आणि आज खरें म्हणजे तुम्ही सिनियर एडवोकेट म्हणून आसात आणि तुमची खूप नामना जाल्ली आसा. सो डू यू वॉन्ट टू क्रेडिट गिव सम क्रेडिट टू द एअर फोर्स to the defense services which you worked with?
Definitely, what I am today, the credit has to go to the Air Force because I have made a man out of myself. I have made a career on my own. I have fought with the life in adverse circumstances to make a life as I wanted to make. So that courage I got from the Indian Air Force only. Otherwise, I would not have. And God bless, things have been all right now. So much so, they say my son also is doing very well, who is a lawyer. My daughter is doing very well, who is also a lawyer. And my son-in-law, who is also a lawyer, is doing well. So these blessings come out of hard work.
Other म्हणिल्ल्या भशेन the motto of Air Force is to touch the sky with glory, and you really touch the sky with glory in your real life.
That's true.
What the Air Force has given you?
Air Force has given me strength, perseverance to see that I come out of any circumstances, any sort of life, and make a life which I design for myself.
तुका एक डिसिप्लिनरी आर्म फोर्सेसान गेल्यार एक लायफाक एक कॉन्क्रीट
Every according to me, every man should go. May not everyone join Air Force, join Army, join Navy, which brings you along with many people of different types, different creeds, but which all of them are supposed to learn discipline, supposed to obey, supposed to make a career. That tells you how to make a life for your own. So therefore, life in the Air Force is a life in need.
वेगवेगळे लोक तुका थंय मेळटात. It is like a mini India.
It is like a mini India. And we like to love each other, but we also don't cross limits because we think. And that courage you get because you are in the Air Force.
दोतोर आमचे भुरगे जे पळय आर्म फोर्सिसान वचपाक सोदतात तांकां कितें सांगपाक सोदतात तुमी?
They should definitely go in the Air Force, whatever their choice is. You see, in America, they say every person is forced to go to the defense force and serve for some years. That should also happen in India so that every Indian becomes a better Indian and a better citizen of India, and of course a responsible citizen of India who to arrange himself in order to create something in himself and to do something himself so that people around can appreciate and follow.
आणि आता ताणें अग्निवीर केला न्ही, सो people are also joining as अग्निवीर्स.
Yeah, that is good. That is encouraging.
आणि शेवटी तुमकां एक गोंयच्या लोकांक एक मेसेज कशी?
If you appreciate what I have done, then everyone in Goa should join any force he or she likes, so that his or her life becomes the best life for them.
बरें आसलें दोतोर, तुमी मुद्दम आमच्या स्टुडियोन आयले आनी बरे बरे तुमचे अनुभव सांगले आनी बऱ्यो बऱ्यो गोश्टी आमकां सांगल्यो. खरेंच बरें आसलें आनी प्रायम मिडियाचे वतीन हांव तुमकां देव बरें करूं म्हणटा.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I also thank you very much because out of love for the old life I have come.
आनी तुमकां अशेंच आमी आनीकय अशेच पर्सनॅलिटीज तुमच्या मनान घेवन येतले. सलाम फौजी.
आमच्या भविष्या खातीर ते बलिदान दितात. आम्ही मजेत घरात असतात ते त्रासांची येतात. सीमेर उबे राहून देगीत तुमकां फक्त देशाचीच काळजी. तुमकां आमचा मानाचा मुजरो सलाम फौजी. सलाम फौजी. तुमकां आमचा मानाचा मुजरो सलाम फौजी. सलाम फौजी.